leadership being a very important aspect of the forum and addressing the security and intelligence issues around the world. Our next speaker is going to bring a very interesting perspective from an international location. Former President of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada was elected just recently in the early hours of Monday, 1st August, to be the Sierra Leone People's Party presidential candidate. So not only having served as the former president, he is now volunteering to become president again. He is the only core member of the National Provisional Ruling Council that ruled Sierra Leone from 1992 to 1996, that has thrived and remains a significant political figure in Sierra Leone's political landscape. President Bio was part of the military movement that overthrew the repressive APC one-party government of the late Joseph Momo, marking the beginning of the NPRC regime. President Bio handed over power to the SLPP in a peaceful manner and its new leader, Ahmed Kaba, in 1996. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission report of 2005-2006 later acclaimed President Bio for his commitment to the peace process. So it's very, very exciting to have the former president here to speak about his perspectives on security and intelligence. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the organizers of this particular conference and also GADA for giving us the opportunity to be here this morning. I come from a part of the world that still does not have light. The black area you saw, the dark area you saw, and I want to talk about how we can shed light on that part of the world, because we need to grow together if we should have universal security for us all. Yesterday I made a case at the Global Realities Roundtable that because of its oil reserves and the quality and cost advantages over Middle Eastern oil, West Africa will increasingly become a geopolitically strategic region to especially the West. I stated, however, that the sub-region, that is sub-Saharan Africa, reputation for political instability and civil unrest would negate the prediction. I highlighted the governance and poverty as catalysts for the region's political instability. But I also offered some recommendations that could mitigate them and hereby enhance the attractiveness of West African crude oil to Western investors. Today I'm going to talk about another issue that could both cause political instability in West Africa and pose a threat to Europe and the Americas. It is the emergence of West Africa as a major transshipment point for narcotics, banned for Europe and the American markets, which is partially due to the fact that transporting drugs into US market through the usual channels have increased significantly because of United States relentless interdiction efforts along its coast. Simultaneously, the demand for drugs have fallen significantly in the US and risen in Europe, thus making the European markets relatively more attractive to drug cartels. And the problem we have with unemployment creates a reserve army of people ready to cooperate with the cartels for bribes. And this is creating serious problems. But I want to now come to the business aspect of this particular presentation, which is to say that for monitoring risk in a country like Sierra Leone and other nations of the Mano River Union, I think that rather than make investment on decisions based on one-time fixed intelligence and security metrics or a series of attractive slogans from incumbent government, investors should continually map, monitor the vulnerabilities and imminent risk in order to understand both the short-term vagaries and the major long-term fault lines that may become challenges to investment. I will therefore proceed by describing what in my mind is the unique threat environment in the case of Sierra Leone and the Mano River Union area where we come from and where the place is still dark. The other speakers, of course, have identified a different set of probable threats that may determine investor risk in other parts of the world. I will speak specifically about the internal dynamics within Africa. Just yesterday, a lot of people would have said that Ivory Coast is stable and is up and running again. This morning, we had very sad news that there are serious problems there. The sub-region, West Africa, is heading for democracy. But of course, we still have problems. We still have problems that have their origins from our recent history in war. And those are the problems that we must confront, and those are the problems that we must deal with if we have to be a strategic partner in the world to come. If we should shed light on that part of Africa that is still dark, and that could be the source of the home for terrorist groups and other groups that may destabilize the whole world, then we need to work in consonance with these governments to make sure that they are accountable, to make sure that they provide the checks and balances necessary for them to operate as good governments. It is lacking in Africa. There is monopoly over power. Governments that have gone to various, what we call state house, have now tried to circumvent democracy, and definitely democracy is in recession in Africa. This is serious. If we want a global peace, we must make sure that the dark part of the world has good governance, and that when we go into economic relationship with these governments, we make sure that it is on a win-to-win basis. We want to appeal to corporations from the north that have relationship with our government to make sure that when they enter fiscal arrangements, especially, and agreements, either mining or for any other services or activities, it is done in such a way that it provides a win-win situation for everybody. This is lacking, and this will lead to discontent. Of course, today we talk about land grabbing as another issue. Of course, there's desperation in Africa for investment, and they would want to take whatever is given to them. But I want to assure you that along the line, they are going to realize that what they've gotten was far less than what they are supposed to have. And what to be the result? They are going to rise up again. The scramble for Africa will end up in disaster if we are not going to make sure that the relationships we establish with these governments or individuals or groups provide a win-win situation. So today, most of my colleagues have talked about the world, but I have specifically zoomed in on West Africa as a potential strategic partner in the world because of our oil reserves, the quality of the oil that is there, the cost involved, the fact that our oil is light and therefore does not have high sulfur content, and we are going to be faced with a situation where a lot of money is going to come in, and if these monies are not properly applied to providing social services for our people, developing the human capital of our region, we will have problems. Today, unemployment among the youth is serious and is rampant and is almost everywhere. We must search for solutions that will bring this particular menace to an end. We have just witnessed the Arab Spring. I don't want to witness an African Spring. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we do wish you the best of luck on the upcoming elections. Now transiting to the Caribbean.